Annyeong, it's Mikey here, and guys, thank you so much for always supporting this channel. I can't believe how far this channel has come. We're almost at 2k subs. Hopefully I can even get to 10k and even more. And guys, today I want to give a big shout out to Akko for sending me out the Santorini keyboard. Now, this is a keyboard same shape of the Mu01, so it's like the same base but fully aluminum. So let's go straight into unboxing, take a look, and do a sound test.
So let's get straight into the unboxing, and again, thank you Akko for sending me out the Jin01 Santorini. So as soon as you open the box, we're gonna of course be greeted with the nice packaging. We're gonna get out the accessories first, so let's take a look to see what's inside the accessories box. Of course, we're gonna get extra switches, so we have 5 extra rosewood switches and a keycap puller, and of course we're gonna get switch puller as well as a cable. Now, Akko's cables aren't braided, but they are decent cables, that's for sure. Like, it would be nice if they were braided, but these ones are still a decent cable. And of course, we get a USB dongle. One thing I do wish is that they made some space for the USB dongle to be actually put inside the keyboard instead of just on the side. Now, opening it up, we're greeted with an incredibly beautiful board. This Santorini themed keyboard looks incredibly nice, and it's made of full aluminum, so it looks just like the Mu01, which it's based off of. So let's do a weigh and then a sound test. So this one weighs about 1.65. So let's get straight into the teardown of this keyboard. Now, one thing you have to know about this type of keyboard from Akko, like the Mu01, this one, you have to remove that silicone strip to be able to access the screws to open it up. So make sure you don't lose that. They did change it up this time compared to the Mu01, which the Mu01 was actually directly taped onto the back. This one, it has actually another tape layer in between, which is really nice, actually. So that means it would be easier to change later on and make it sticky again. So once you remove all the screws, you can actually get out the metal piece on the top. This is a very interesting style of keyboard because that's what makes it a gasket mount, and I really enjoy it. I think it makes it really, really good, and in general, I think a gasket mount just works really well in terms of sound. Now, as you can see, it has the rosewood switches, and it comes with a good foam in between the PCB and the plate, as well as a bottom PCB foam. And on the bottom of the case as well, there is a layer of pour-on foam. Now, as you can see, this comes with a 4000 mAh battery. I really do wish though that Akko did some changes to how their system is built, especially in terms of like wireless. As I said, the USB dongle is separate, and we'll go more into that in the review later. Now, this keyboard does have a little bit of space for modding, and in general, I don't think it needs it. As you can see, like, it has the socks, it has a lot of good foam. This case is really built well in terms of sound. Like, the rosewood stitches are really good. I think in general, this whole base of this specific keyboard style that Akko's been doing with like the Mu01, Jin01, and more has been really, really well done. Like the sound is great. But you know what? It's something that we do all the time, which is do modding and see if it makes a difference. So I'm going to see if we can do a tape mod, but I think this is just taped on really, really tightly, like the bottom PCB foam. So instead, we're going to grab our sound dampener and just put it on the bottom of the keyboard. So we're going to put it all the way at the bottom of the case. Instead of on top of the pour-on foam, we're actually going to put it below. So one reason I use sound dampener, I think it works well in terms of actually changing the sound, but also it's just easier to work with because like you have a lot of leftovers, easy to cut up, easy to see where you should cut to be able to manage and put it all together. So we're going to put it all in, get all the cables through the foam. I don't know why, but I was having a hard time with that. It's not a lot of space to work with. Now, Akko also sent me out the new Akko Dracula switches. So we're also going to do something where we're going to change up the switches in this keyboard to the Dracula, and we'll do a sound test with like the stock versus lube and do a comparison on this keyboard. So let's put this all together. One thing I will tell you is that it's really hard to get the cable for the battery in. I'm always having a hard time with it, but once you get it in, and please make sure don't bend any pins, be careful, and then put that metal plate back on the top because you're going to need to put it on to be able to screw in it all together and put it all together. So we're going to put this all back, make sure to put on that rubber strip on the bottom, and then we're going to do a modded sound test, and then we're going to go into the Dracula switches as well. So now that we put in the Dracula switches in, let's do a sound test of stock versus lube, and then a full sound test of the lubed switches. So let's get right into my review of the Jin01 Santorini board. Now I want to show you guys a slight comparison with the Mu01 wooden board that I have from Akko and show you guys the differences. I mean, it is pretty much the exact same build, right? But one's aluminum, one's wood, but just show you guys a slight difference between the two boards because there is still some differences in it. Like for example, one is a little bit taller, one is a little bit wider. I think that in general, the wooden Mu01 is a little bit thicker and a little bit wider. Even though it's like supposed to be the exact same, as you can tell from like the side by side, it is a little bit longer in terms of the height. I do really like the style that they're doing with the 65%. It's incredibly nice, I have to say. And honestly, Akko's been doing an amazing job with this specific series where it sounds amazing. And I'm actually excited to get the next one that they're sending in because I think that one's also going to sound amazing. So this keyboard comes with the Rosewood switch. This is literally my favorite switch at the moment. Like, I've tried many different switches, and I still have to say this is currently my most favorite switch out of all of them. It works well, it's affordable, it sounds amazing, it feels great. It is on the lighter side, so if you do like your heavy switches, this might not work for you, but for me, I do love it. I also know that some people find it a bit too quiet. I like it because I'm a fan of a quieter sound. Now, as I gave you guys some sound tests of the Dracula Switch, this was another new switch that Akko has created. Akko's on a roll right now. Like, their new switches, the Botany, Rosewood, Dracula, the Creamy Purple Pro, they're on a roll, guys. Like, they're making really, really, really good switches, and I'm truly impressed. Now, the Dracula is incredibly light, though. This is something I noticed of this specific switches. It is so light. Like, it's maybe too light, but it is a nice marbly sound. So let me give you a sound test between the two. So I don't know if you guys got heard, but yeah, the Draculas are a bit louder. They're more like a marbly sound compared to the Akko Rosewood. I've tried them on a different board as well. It just feels incredibly light. It's even lighter than the Rosewoods, and I mean, it's not bad. I'm not a big fan of these switches myself, but it does have a light diffuser on there, which is really nice to see. Now, going back to the Jin01, I think this is an amazing themed board. I mean, for 120 USD, this is not bad. Though there are some flaws, as I said before, like you can see right there. You have to go up for Mac, pull down the switch for Windows, and the middle is just USB mode. Now, I wish Akko would actually make some place on this board where it's a switch. I don't think it'll be too difficult for them to do, but make a switch that changes it wirelessly. No need to take out a keycap, and even put in a USB dongle spot.
Now, what did you guys think of this beautiful Santorini keyboard from Akko? I think Akko is doing some amazing things where, like, they're just making really, really great sounding keyboards. Like, my goodness, listen to this. So let me know down below in the comments what your guys' thoughts are. And yeah, I just think this is a really cool themed keyboard. This is definitely one of the places I really would love to go and visit. So this is a really nice design that can just help me think about in the future. Maybe one day I'll be able to go. Now, thank you guys so much for watching. And yeah, please go check out the other videos that I have and different keyboard reviews that I've done. And I'll catch you guys next time.